Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Hitting the Crew podcast, where we go deep inside, behind the scenes of Hitting the Fields, UCF student-run sports talk show, and we get to learn more about the people that put the show together. And on the show today, we have one of the guys that's been there for about 2 years now, right?
Yeah, year and a
Is that
half.
right, Ross?
What year are we in? I did 3 semesters. I think one whole year, 3 semesters. Started last spring.
Veteran, we'll call it veteran, but
I'll take
HTF
it.
veteran Ross Bernstein here, Mr. Basketball from HTF. Ross, what's going on, brother?
I'm good. Crazy times trying to get these summer classes going. I actually just had my birthday a couple days ago, so
Happy
celebrating, chilling, appreciate it. But
20,
yeah, just
21?
yes, sir. 21.
There you go.
Started off by taking an exam, not doing too well, and doing a lot of drinking. So I feel like I'm brought in 21 the correct way. I don't think I did well, but I definitely drank as if I did, or if I didn't.
And you know what? Hey, that's. I mean, as someone who also had a birthday recently, in quarantine, I think you have to make the most out of the situation, and you kind of just have to make it special anyway.
Yep, you gotta try. Try to make it as normal as possible.
Years of Ross Bernstein. That's the topic on today's Hitting the Crew podcast. Cover, but I think we can get it done in right.
We got it. I think we got it.
All right. So the way I usually like to start these is, where are you from? How did you grow up? You have siblings? Just like, how would you describe yourself from how you grew up?
Yeah, I grew up down south in Miami. I guess technically North Miami Beach was the area where I lived for basically all the way through the end of senior year, and then for like a couple of weeks I lived in Hollywood, but Hollywood's right next to North Miami Beach. So I kind of grew up in that area. Not too special. I luckily was I was lucky enough to stay in one house for the first 16 years of my life, which I think I'm super blessed to have that, because a lot of people don't have that kind of stability. So I was really happy that I had that. It wasn't until my senior year of high school where we moved. For the first time, we literally moved a mile and a half away. We just moved houses. It wasn't a big we got to move up and everything. So I was very lucky. I've stayed in one area my whole life. Same group of friends since I was little. So my closest friends still to this day. I've known them since I was probably 2-3 years old, I think. But whatever preschool is. So about 3 years old. And yeah, I just love that I was lucky enough, because a lot of kids, they got to continuously move, and they have to basically continuously start over. And I just have had such a great group of friends that I've known since I was super little. The oldest one of my friends is probably maybe beginning of high school, and I obviously did the same high school for 4 years. And so yeah, for that. And I have one sibling. I have one older sister, Jenna. So a lot. Interesting having an older sister. I always wanted to kind of I wonder what it was like to be an older sibling, but I definitely am the baby of the family. On my dad's side, I'm by far the youngest of my cousins. My sister's the closest one to me, which my next cousin's probably, he must be 9 years older than me. So I'm definitely on that side, I'm the baby. And on my mom's side, I have a couple of younger cousins, but it's a weird perspective always being the youngest. I feel like I definitely got a lot of the lucky stuff.
Exactly, big family, and that's awesome to hear. So, you have you have your sister. You have a pretty strong base, a pretty strong foundation.
Yeah.
You have here, and just I guess where I want to go into this direction here. What is one moment, or you can even go two if you really have to choose, but what's one absolute what's a party story that you have from your group of friends from when you were growing up until now? Honestly, just it can come from whenever, but what about your strong core group of friends that's happened a while ago? What's a good story that you have for us?
For sure. So I was very lucky that every group of friends has a party house where it's if you just kind of want to do whatever, you go to this house. Very luckily for me, it was my house. So I didn't have a lot of moving. All my friends, it's hilarious. My super close group of friends, they all live within 2 blocks of each other, and then I've always lived 10 minutes away. So basically, it was either everyone convenes to my house or I go to one of their houses and I just stay for the night and then pack a bag or whatever.
Yeah.
So definitely my house, probably there was one specific 8th grade sleepover, very typical 8th grade sleepover, just a lot of video games and a lot of just. I don't think my dad was there. I think my dad I might have already moved out of the house, and my mom's a little too relaxed. Like I don't like. She's like, I don't care what you do in the confines of this house, as long as you don't wake me up. Which I think we did, but I think she kind of just like, forget it. Like I'll deal with it. And I literally remember this party because we pulled an all-nighter, which I've only done once. That was that one night, and and I've never done. I still have never like. I got close. Like I'll stay up to like 5 a.m. and I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed though. No, I stayed up from sun up to sundown. We all looked at each other like, we're gonna do it, guys. We would play tips in that. I don't know if you ever played tips where like you have to throw the basketball and like jump in the air and like you can't land. We would throw that ball around this house, and we had a box TV for a long time, like one of those big clunky TVs. Like, we didn't have a flat screen probably until I got into high school. So like that thing could take a beating. Like we would hit the screen like multiple times. We put a hole. I think we might have. I don't know if we put a hole in the wall that night, but we definitely cracked something. My friend. Oh my god. Like now I'm thinking about it. I remember at one point we were playing this game. It's called yeah, this is really bad. I can't believe this happened. We played What Are the Odds? So it's like, all right, so we play a game. I'm like, what are the odds that you jump in the pool right now? 1, 2, 3. You say number 2, 1 in 10. If it's the same number, you have to do it. And I remember this might have been not the same party, but maybe a couple months later. It was freezing. Well, Florida freezing. So it was like 55, 60 degrees out. And I looked at my friend like, what are the odds that right now you go lay on the floor outside and I pour a glass of water on you? And we're like, 1, 2, 3. And whatever the number was, I got him. And he's like, and then I poured it. He's like, okay, what are the odds I take that giant industrial, because my dad used to have an industrial sized pot to make food out of the house. And whatever the odds, I pour that whole thing on you. It was like 1, 2, 3, and we got it. And it was so bad. Like we would just do stupid things because like we didn't know. Like we don't know what hypothermia is. Like I don't know what these consequences to these actions are. I'm just like trying to do dumb like boy kid stuff. Like I don't know. But yeah, my house, always the party house, and then specifically my sister's friends, they were older than me. They're 3 years older than me. So like they'd have like actual parties, like with people, and not just pouring water on each other. And those were some interesting nights. I've woken whenever my mom would go out of town. Those were some very sleepless nights for me because I was not old enough to party with them, but old enough to understand what's going on.
I feel like I knew you would like. This is exactly why I wanted to do a podcast because I know you have like countless stories that are very similar to that. I actually just picked the one, but I guess now I know the dynamic between having like an older sister and older sister. Like I feel like 3 years because there's what 3 years between you and Jenna, right?
3.5.
3.5. That's a perfect age because like I feel like because your friend group probably was crushing on her friend group and like explain that dynamic because I think there's and I can tell that you're already thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, some of my friends, like, well, the thing is, I've known a lot of my sister's friends, at least her close ones, since I was super little. Like, little, because my sister's very similar to me, where she went to the same high school, same middle school, and, like, her group of friends, they're like sisters to me. Like, they actually, like, I've known them for so long, like, that, like, I don't think about it in that way. But my friends, they don't, they would just be like, so, like, what's up with, like, your sister's friends? I'm like, dude, they're 18, you're 15. Like, you're 14. Like I was a very like a border where like I was not with it. I was like, you stay away from these young ladies. Like these are my friends. Like that's the only like kind of dynamic we'd have. And then when we got older, like now my sister's friends, like I'm so happy that like they're my friends. Like it's weird to call them my sister's friends because I guess they were hers first, but like even the last night for my birthday, my old roommate who was my sister's friends came down and like. His girlfriend is my sister's closest friend who she's like, I've known you since you were 6 months old, basically. Like,
yeah,
I was very lucky that like I'm super close with my sister's friends. And like, obviously like the guys in the group when I was younger, like some interesting stories there about what happened. Cause like, I'm basically their younger brother. So they treated me like you treat a younger brother. But yeah.
And that's awesome because it's like you have that familial bond even though they aren't like the way I see it it's your chosen family in a way.
Yeah,
and
100%.
and it's nice that you and your sister have that bond to where like I'm not friends with my brother's friends like that like I mean like so that's awesome to have. Like I wish I wish that my brother had friends like that I could be friends with, and vice versa. Like I've tried to get my brother to be friends with my friends, but he's just
Yeah,
not that kind of
it's
person.
more of a
But
one-way street. Jenna is
yeah,
not
yeah,
really friends with my friends because going 3 years younger is different than going 3 years older.
right.
And Jenna would never just be like, "I'm gonna go hang out with your friends." I'm like, "Why? Like, why? We're just gonna play Warzone and we're not doing anything. You have no interest in this." But like her friends, I'm like,
Not, not,
I want to do fun things. It was always, it's kind of mean to say, but it was always like my sister that was like the one like not protecting me, but like I don't want you to just be with my friends all the time. These are my friends, and her friends were like, dude, we don't like just come with us. I was like, no, Jenna's like doesn't want me to go, which like I understand because like when I'm 14 and they're 17, they're like just let your little brother come. It's like we love him, and she's like, no, I am 17 and rebellious. I don't want this little kid that I feel like I have to take responsibility around. I'm just like, can I come? And she's like, no. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Often do you and your sister like talk?
uh, I mean, like, now that I'm in college, probably like once a week, we at least like she'll somehow call me or she'll somehow like. Usually, I kick her off her Spotify account. That's when I'll get my call. Like, Jen, leave me alone. I'm trying to, which I almost did today. I almost kicked her off. But I mean, I talked to my sister. Like she's really like she's actually just a very busy person because
Yeah.
like luckily during this whole thing she's been working even more because she could do a lot of her job from home.
Mm-hmm.
So like she's busy. She's in school. She's like finishing up school. So I'm like, we just talk whenever we get the chance.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, Hitting the Field is a sports brand. It is a sports TV show. Hitting the Crew is a human podcast, but it's also under the Hitting the Field brand. So, you are HTF's Mr. Basketball, at least of right now. But is there? Did you play any other sports growing up, or was it strictly basketball?
Okay, so when it comes to me playing sports, I have played every sport. I would never say I was particularly amazing at any sport. I do not have any physical gifts where they're like this kid is going to be something, but I love sports and I played at whatever the minimum level is, a Jewish community center league or rec league. I played probably football first because my dad played football in high school. Well, he played for like a Jewish sorority in high school because I guess they had that back in the day. He didn't play for the team,
Mm-hmm.
but like he played youth football and he's like, you try it out. So I played flag and like I loved it. I was pretty good. I had a really good arm because I was always bigger than everyone else. Because I didn't hit my growth spurt, but I just stayed taller. And then once people hit growth spurts, I just didn't get mine really. So
Yeah.
kind of unfortunate. But I was a big kid, so like I could hurl that bar. This ball was tiny. I could hurl it the whole field. I was good to go. I played
So
basketball as a kid. I played
did
baseball.
yeah.
Whatever sport you name, I tried.
But you're a basketball guy.
That's my favorite sport now. I still think I'm probably a better quarterback right now than I am at basketball, but I
So
enjoy basketball the
did the
most.
Dolphins make a mistake drafting Tua instead of you?
Oh yeah, but like I can never count on the Dolphins to make the right decision. I had my name on the board. I might have sent Stephen Ross a quick email, but whatever. It is what it is. Nothing I can do now.
Maybe it's in his spam. Maybe you didn't get it.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Okay, I might have to send it again.
Okay, so obviously you play. I wanted to get your basketball story. So what is your? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be basketball now that you're bringing
Yeah.
up football here, but what is your youth sports hero moment? When was Ross Bernstein
Oh.
the hero?
Hmm. I never. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I could vividly remember this one interception when I was probably in the second grade. I here's the thing. I was
I
never
love these
fast.
stories. So
I because in
go
my
ahead.
mind it probably played out so differently than what happened. Because I could replay it in slow motion. Because okay, first of all, these kids are like we're kids, so all I had to do. My dad was always my coach since from first grade to eighth grade. My dad was my coach in all aspects. He's like Ross, just I was not. I was a big kid. No one was. I was not a threat to catch the kid that's running, but I was smart enough to understand what was happening. My dad's like, watch the quarterback's eyes.
You're a
He's just gonna.
linebacker.
Sure. I mean, yeah. I guess we were positioned. We were playing flag, so I played tackle maybe 2 months, but all my stories are flag. And I just looked at the quarterback's eyes, and I saw him lock into this kid on the. Okay, this is what played out in my mind. I cannot say this is what happened. In my mind, I'm on one side of the field, right? Quarterback
Mhm.
looks on the other side of the field, locks eyes. I say, ooh, I know he's going right there. I'm gonna run across his whole field and pick it off. All right. Now, what really happened? I have no clue. I full out sprint to the other side. I see this kid load up. This is all in slow motion to me. I remember this so vividly. He throws it. I'm basically close. I leap at least 5 feet in the air in my mind. I am Michael Jordan. I get the ball, and I don't remember what happened next, but I'm pretty sure I got the ball. I know I got the interception. That is a fact. There's no one that will tell me otherwise. I'm sure there's a documentation about this third grade Aventura Waterways game, but I got the interception, had a couple good blocks, even though you can't really block because we're flag, and I got a touchdown. I was always the quarterback. It was always I probably threw at least 50, 60 touchdowns in my life because I was always just the quarterback. I never ran into the end zone myself. And that was the first time I was like, oh, I actually walked into the end zone. And that was, I don't know why, I remember wearing an orange shirt. I don't know how I remember this. And it's probably not true, is the worst part. And I just get this, and I'm like, oh, I'm the greatest football player to ever do this. I don't know how people don't think I'm going to go to the NFL now. I just read this play like a professional. So that's probably my favorite moment for myself. So it was quite a crowning achievement for me. My one interception.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you're the one supposed to be throwing touchdowns, not picks. So
I know
I
know
got the interception is pretty impressive.
Hey, it's the greatest interception. The greatest story never told.
The greatest story, and that's what we do here at Hitting the Field. We find the greatest stories never told.
Yes.
And like I never knew this about you before right now. So like I'm glad that this platform kind of is able to shed a light on some of these underreported stories.
Yes. I feel like I never got the crown for it.
So you talked about how your dad was your coach for a good chunk of your childhood.
Yeah.
Now, explain being the coach's son and what that meant to you.
So I never really got the favorite treat. My dad does not play favorites. My dad is a very, 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 very old school coach and dad. There's no favorites. There's nothing. I was just the quarterback because I was usually the best quarterback. I think there was one year where my dad looked at me. He's like, "You're not the quarterback." And I'm like, "All right, no problem. I got this. I'll be receiver. I got good hands." Mm-hmm. My dad, as a coach, was always good. It was really funny because my dad only knew football, but he coached every sport. So whatever sport we did turned into football. In basketball, we ran a zone defense. He's like, shuffle your feet side to side. Like, we only did football drills. He didn't know how to teach a kid how to shoot because my dad doesn't know how to shoot. He's like, you just don't let your defender get behind you. And you be aggressive out there. I'm like, all right, Dad. Oh, my God. When he coached soccer, that's the least I've ever seen my dad care about a sport. He's like, all right, guys, go out there. You kick that ball. You have fun. And because my dad doesn't know schemes. My dad doesn't know. I don't know anything about soccer. I know my dad doesn't. Baseball is the only thing he didn't coach. And my dad had all the opinions because my dad is a very opinionated. But my dad as a coach, I don't know what stories I could definitely share on that he would not kill me. But I just remember, I'll try to make a HTF friendly version. But he was a very old fashioned coach. Mm-hmm. So there was a no nonsense rule. Mm-hmm. Like, my dad's a fun guy. He always said we're gonna have fun, but like, you're gonna listen. You know, he's not gonna be the coach where he's like, just go out there and run and whatever, unless it's soccer. Mm-hmm. But he would have this speech, which I would try to. He'd be like, guys, listen. I'm not your mommy and I'm not your daddy. Do you guys know what that means? And he would look around. A kid would be like, oh. He would say something, whatever. But I was like, no. I knew the answer because I had this speech every year. He's like, it means I don't love you. So what I'm gonna say is, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna win. But when I tell you to do something, I'm gonna need you to do it. And we always had a good team. The other parents would coach and just be like super relaxed. And my dad's like, no, like, you're here to win.
That's a good mentality to have.
I just remember him saying that to these kids, and I'm like, Dad, like, you can't say that to kids. Like, now I'm like, Dad, why would you ever say that? He's like, listen, they just had to understand that it's time to be serious. I'm like, okay, Dad, whatever you say.
I mean, when I was a coach, I would not settle for losing. Even I don't know how old these kids were. These kids, I was coaching 6-year-old kids. You don't play to lose the game. You play to win.
Yeah, you can't teach someone to lose that it's okay. My dad hated whenever I got the second place trophy. He's like, do you want it? I'm like, I don't really care. He's like, then my mom would be like, let him go get it. I'm like, all right. Mm-hmm. I still have, actually, now I'm literally looking at it. I have my 2004 Flag Football Rookie League championship thing right next to me. I'm looking at it right now. City of Aventura 2004 flag football rookie league. It's a bobblehead. I still have it.
Nice. Is it a bobblehead of you?
No, it's just a bobblehead. It's actually really cool. I've not noticed it ever. It's like a normal like helmet.
It's just a
bobblehead.
generic bobblehead.
Generic bobblehead.
Yes, I mean, sir. if I had a bobblehead made out of me in 2004, I would that.
It's forever. This is my crowning achievement. I know I have my basketball one somewhere in here.
There you go. So I guess so you play football. Like, so when did you realize like this was the end of my football playing?
Well, for tackle, it didn't take me long because tackle, well, the thing is they go by weight in the state of Florida, which is fair. It makes sense. But in the 3rd grade, I'm the size of an 8th grader. These kids have been playing football for 5-6 years. This is my first time ever playing. Yeah. It doesn't matter we're the same weight. These kids would destroy me. So after 3 months, I'm like, Dad, I really like. The coaches were really like, I didn't play. Like, I'd practice. I never missed a single practice. And they'd be like, all right, Ross, you're going in the whole second half. I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm ready to go. My dad's hyping me up. My dad knew I wasn't very good. He would always say, before the game, he's like, all right, listen, if you get a sack, I'll get you an Xbox. Knowing damn well I'm not going to get a sack. But besides the point, everyone just he knew. I was like, Dad, okay, I bet. I'll get a sack.
I'm sorry.
But whatever, I'd get like, my dad's still hyped up to watch his son play, and the coaches never put me in. He put me in 1 down a game. Not 1 drive, not 1 series, 1 down. 4th down where they kneel, he's like, all right, Ross, you go in. Kneel, and I'm out. After 3 months, I'm like, Dad, I don't want to, like, he's like, I'm like, Dad, listen, like, I don't want to do this. He's like, I can't blame you. So, but last time I played football, it must have been 7th grade. I didn't know it was the end. I knew I wasn't going to play in high school. I didn't play tackle. I had no desire to get hit. It's just not in me to be like, I want to hit people. I want to get hit. So that was the end of my football career for sure. 7th grade, I think, was my last Jewish Community Center league. Yeah, so it must have been 7th. I know I never played in high school, for a fact.
Yeah, so you've mentioned Jewish Community Center a couple times. Obviously, I am very familiar with the Jewish Center, having worked there for 2.5 years. Did you also work there at some point either?
I applied. I didn't get it. I don't know how. I went to preschool there. I didn't get the job. All my friends worked there. Literally all of my friends work at the Jewish Community Center next to our house. Every single one. At one point worked.
Which one?
Michael and Russell Jewish Community Center in North Miami Beach.
All right, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I always forget. There's not just mine. So that's the same. I went to preschool there. So I've obviously been pretty close to it.
Mm-hmm. And look, honestly, being part of a community center family is everything.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Because you can be there for parts of your life, or you can be there your entire life, and you literally, in some cases, you grow up there.
Yeah, I'm only laughing because I thought about it's crazy that I went to preschool there, but once I left preschool, I didn't buy a membership because I was like, I don't want to pay for this. They called the cops on us once. Here's the thing. I remember this day very vividly. I'll try to make it very quick, but basically, I don't want to blow up how we used to sneak in because I'm sure kids are still doing it. But there's a way to go in through the back. I'm not going to say the way, but I know there is a way because my friends still do it. There's a way to go in through the back. You just go in. It's kind of known that once you get to the basketball courts, you're safe. It's the path to getting to the basketball courts. Once you're in there and you got your shoes on, you're gonna blend in. Especially like I literally went there for preschool. Like I'm gonna blend in with the rest of the Jewish kids. Like they're not gonna be like, who's not a member, you know? Mm-hmm. And this one day we go in. We actually got a little confident. Sometimes you just walk in through the front. I just give them a wave. Do I look like I'm not a member? Like, and this lady was like, it's $20 for the day. I was like, oh, I'm a member, which is I'm not. I just pull up my name, and it said you haven't been a member since 2005. I'm like, oh my god, what is wrong with the system here? what you guys had to update that. I'm still a member, which I'm just lying.
Yes.
And we go through this whole thing, and my friend's arguing. I'm like, listen, let's just go. One of my friends are members. He's like, well, I just won't play today. And literally, this lady was like, this older Jewish lady. She came up. She's like, I cannot believe you're not letting these young Jewish men play at the community center. He's like, do they look like they're going to do? I'm like, dude, I'm going to go in that basketball court and play for 2 hours and walk out. I'm not doing anything. She paid for all of our membership for the day. And we were like, thank you so much. And the lady at the security was like, she felt bad. She's like, listen, I don't care that you guys go in. I just have to follow policy.
Yeah.
which I understand. But this lady was like, I cannot believe you're not letting this young Jewish youth. Like, this is what we made. We made this place so Jewish youth could come here and be safe. I'm like, I'm behind her. Like, yeah, you tell her. But
Yeah.
we get in. We're there for 30 minutes, and then the lady, not the lady that bought us, the security lady came back, and she's like, you guys can get out right now. I was like, what? We paid. Like, I had my receipt. I'm like, we paid, technically. She's like, yeah, one of you parked your car here illegally, which is not true. And they were like, we're going to call the cops on you. And we were like, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
That
was
not having it today.
Dude, I was like, you're not. I was like, why? Why are you going to call it? Like, I literally, like, do I look? I'm playing basketball. I know every single person in this gym.
Yeah.
And that was crazy. And I still see that security lady. I think she still gives me a hard time sometimes. I'm still not a member, but whatever. Don't worry about that. I'm a member when I go.
I mean, where it is at the JCC I used to work at was they had like a glass entrance. Like you had to like scan your key fob.
We got that too, but there's always a way around it.
Yeah, I mean, for us, I don't know if there's a way around it because I mean, but the thing is, the reason why these are put in place is because there's a lot of security measures and like there's a lot of dangerous.
Of course, no. I understand why they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's a very soft place to attack. Like it's not. And obviously, like with like you don't know what people are gonna think when they go in there with what intentions. I'm just saying. I'm like, listen, you could pull up my name. I went to preschool here. I'm sure it says that somewhere, and I was a member for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, and I'm like, I can name every single person that works here. I've known them, and every single like I know all of them. But yeah. I understand her job. As like now that I'm older, that probably happened 11th grade. Now that I'm a little bit older, I'm like I understand. Like I understand why she did it. But it's just funny that I got almost arrested at the Jewish community center. Like who does that? Who gets arrested at the Jewish community center?
All right, so I'm gonna play a quick game because I usually use these as a way to kind of find a new place to go. When
for sure.
We're kind of reaching somewhat of a dead end, but this is what I'll do. Okay, favorite food.
Oh, this is a very hard question. Favorite food?
Yes, and these are like quick answers. Like give quick.
My grandma's salmon.
Okay. Favorite vacation spot.
I don't really go on vacation, so I'm gonna go to Montreal because I went there once, which is
okay. Where I'm from. When did you go to Montreal?
I went to Montreal. I guess 6th, 7th grade. My mom's from Montreal, so we had a family member who had a bar mitzvah there. I didn't know he's my family member, but I think it was just more of an excuse to go to Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
So that was awesome.
There you go. Yeah, I want to go to Canada someday.
Dude, it was cold, and it was the summer, and it was cold.
You know what's weird? I also have family in Montreal. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of the French Canadian Jews are over there. I have a lot of family there actually.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they're French Canadian, but I do know that I have some family up there.
Dude, Montreal's such a nice place. We'll never know. It's such a nice place. It's kind of like it's like France times New York because you go walk everywhere, but like everything's in French, which my mom speaks, so pretty helpful.
Yeah, that's the difference. Like, it's weird. People might think it's weird for you and I to like think, oh, we might know some people that might be family, but it's real. Like, it's happened to me before.
It's a tight circle.
Where I will like look up this one person, and I'll actually like see them as my family.
Yeah, I mean, we all came from a very small tree. Like. Like at the end of the day, there's always a 7 degree of connections between people. It's not too crazy to think that one of them is going to be a family member, that one of those degrees is going to be a family member. Like,
I remember I was talking to Chris Davis one day, CD, Chris Davis.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were on Hitting the Field while he was, but he found out that he was a cousin of Philando Castile.
Castile, yeah.
Who was a part of the police brutality among the last, 5 or so years. So he found that out, like, and kind of crazy. Shout out CD, a friend of a member of the Hitting the Field family. So shout out to CD. But yeah, like it's crazy to think that we're all connected in some scary way. It's like have you ever heard of like the theory, like the Kevin Bacon theory or something like that?
Okay, I've heard of the Kevin Bacon theory. I don't know what it is, but I've heard that term. Someone be like, Kevin Bacon theory. I'm like, yeah, cool.
Sure. So it's called the Oracle of Bacon, and basically, if you name an actor, you can find the link to Kevin Bacon. So, like Ross, who's your favorite actor?
Denzel.
Denzel Washington. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's pretty. Why
That
Denzel Washington?
I don't know. I just love anything he's in. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this, and I'm gonna love this.
That's fair. Like, do you remember like a movie that Denzel Washington like was in that you were like,
I
oh
don't know
my?
why I really loved. I mean, Training Day, obviously, but
Mhm.
Flight. I was always a big Flight fan, which I feel like maybe is one of his more
I
underappreciated movies.
like Flight too. I saw Flight in theaters.
I don't think I saw Flight. I think I saw that with my mom. My
Mhm.
mom had a. I think she loved Training Day because she had a. What's the white dude's name? That's not Denzel Washington. The other main dude.
In
Ethan
Flight.
Hawke, right? Ethan Hawke, the main dude from Training Day, the other cop.
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke. My mom she's like, I had such a crush on him. I'm like, Mom, I'm trying to watch this movie. I think that's maybe why I watched Training Day as a kid.
Yeah. So here's so Denzel Washington is a bacon number. That's what they call it. Like how many links
This
there
is a
are.
really, really, really real thing. You can Google it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is a legit thing. So Denzel Washington is a bacon number of 2. Denzel Washington was in Devil in a Blue Dress with Maury Chaykin, who was in Where the Truth Lies with Kevin Bacon.
Such a weird thing. Yeah, that's a website. Like
Like
that's a
someone
website.
like took the time and energy to create this database and create this, I guess I mean the website's not very decorated, so it must not have been
No,
that
this
cool.
is strictly so you know who's connected to Kevin Bacon. I don't need any excess. How is this person connected to Kevin Bacon? That's it.
Like could you
I like it.
imagine if there was like like a Ross Bernstein or the Oracle of Ross?
Ooh, all right. Hitting the field, family. You have a summer project. Start
Yeah.
working on it. I only thing I know about my name is I know there's a sports author named Ross Bernstein. I read one of his books when I was a kid. That's all I know about my name.
Okay.
As far as someone, I don't remember how good the book was. I was like, oh, he has my name. I'm gonna read this. And I
Mhm.
read it. I was like, all right, cool, good for him. Great name.
Do you have any famous friends or relatives?
Do I have any famous friends or relatives?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
That's a
But
weird
if
question.
anyone's listening to this podcast, you hit me up. I don't think I have any. I'm really thinking famous. No.
Like your family was like, oh yeah, you're related to that guy somehow.
No, not that I can think of.
Like my roommate apparently is like some real distant cousin of Abraham Lincoln.
Oh no, I don't know anyone in my. I think my family wants to start doing that like ancestry stuff. So maybe you get back to me in like a year. I might know some famous people.
Hey,
Like
yeah. I
I
mean,
I love it. I'll
23 and
take
Me
some
is
famous
such a good
people.
birthday gift too, and you just had your birthday, so maybe I'll get
Ooh,
23 and Me for your birthday.
I might do it. I'm sure I could find. I gotta know some. There's got to be someone famous that I'm not too far away
Yeah.
from.
I'm sorry,
I
Ross, though. It's actually really expensive, and I can't
okay.
afford
Never mind. Never mind.
it.
But like,
afford it for myself,
maybe.
let
All right. So
alone
next year,
for someone
you
else.
start saving now. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I will start the GoFundMe page for 23 and Me for Ross Bernstein.
Yes. I'm excited. I'm really trying to think famous. The only famous thing I think of is my mom told me pretty recently. This is just such a crazy. My mom's very she's very kind of hippie-ish. She's very relaxed. Nothing really. She's very zen.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, we were walking around Miami Beach after I got like my dentist appointment, going to get like food. She's like, I remember being here like 20, 30 years ago and like saw Michael Jackson get out of a car and like he waved at me. I was like, what? I was like, she's like, yeah, I saw him get out the car. I was like, oh, it's Michael Jackson. I waved at him. He looked at me, smiled, and waved back. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Mom, if Michael Jackson waved at someone, I hope you understand that's all they tell people for the rest of their life. Like anytime I'm like talking, I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, Michael Jackson waved at me. She's like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot it happened. I forgot Michael Jackson smiled and waved at me. I'm like, Michael Jackson, the singer. She's like, yeah, Michael Jackson. I was like, that's the craziest story I've ever heard. That's the closest thing to famous that my family's ever been with, I think, as far as I know. Michael Jackson is best friends with my mom in my head.
In your head, yeah. And
Yes.
and my mom, I think it was around your age, like when this story happened. My mom showed me a picture of her and Rob Lowe, like at
Yeah.
a party or something.
At a party. Oh, that's different. That means like
I don't know if it was a party, but like my mom was definitely out, and so was
she was
Rob.
somewhere and Rob Lowe was there. That's good.
Yeah,
They were
like
best friends
oh man,
in our heads.
I have the picture on my phone. I would send it to you right now, just so you
Yeah,
can see
I
it.
don't.
But It's so weird. We can't really talk about this on the podcast because nobody can see the picture of Rob Lowe and my mom.
We believe
I
you.
feel like people really care about you, Ross. Let's get back to you.
Yes.
We can talk about Rob Lowe and my mom when it's my podcast, but it's your podcast now. So let's get this back to you.
All right.
So you, okay? So let's get. I'm gonna keep playing this game of lightning and figuring out your favorite thing. So favorite favorite subject in school
as a kid or now?
As a kid.
Math.
Okay. A favorite number. That's good.
5.
Why 5?
I don't know. I love the number 5. Because it's just like a good nut, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Like it's just such an incremental number, and it just makes so much sense to me.
Is 5 the best number?
5 is my number for everything. Like when I played a sport, I was like, I'm number 5. Yeah. Anything I do, I'm like, I'm gonna be number 5. My 2K player, number 5. Mm-hmm. It's just a great. Like I don't know. Like it just and like think about it. Like look at the number 5 in your head. It's such a pretty number.
It is a pretty number.
It's like a C and then a line. I don't know. It's a great number.
It's a pretty number.
5.
Yeah. Favorite athlete.
Oh, Dwyane Wade. I feel like that one's pretty easy to explain.
I knew that, but yeah. So talk about how many times like can you think of that you've seen Dwyane Wade play live?
Dwyane Wade, somewhere in the 20s, somewhere in the 30s. So I didn't go to a ton of games as a kid.
Is there? I mean, look, I've been to a Heat game once because I was down in Miami for spring break one of these years. But is there a moment that you remember seeing Dwyane Wade play live and you're like, wow?
Yeah, here's the thing. I've learned, and I learned this in my senior year of high school in my psych class. Memories are very flexible, but I'll tell you my memory of this, which I could have sworn. Do you remember? I mean, it's a very famous shot. D Wade steals the ball against D Rose and the Bulls and hits a floater for the win. Well, floater from like the 3-point line for the win.
Yes, I do remember.
If I remember correctly, I was on probably the 8th or 9th row because a family. I guess he's my uncle, but family friend of ours. I guess whatever. He just had 2 tickets. He's like, I'm not going to the game. Do you and your son want to go? He told that to my dad, and I was like, let's go. So we go to the game, and I am so certain it's that game because I remember 2 things. I remember D Rose was playing, so I was excited. I know Dwyane Wade hit a game winner. So I am 99% sure I went to the game, and I would never forget that shot. I'm so confident it's that one. I was like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. Because I've never seen a game winner. I think that was my one game winner I saw.
Yeah.
And like
I've seen
in
one
person
game
is different.
That I can remember. I've seen one game winner in my whole life.
I wish I was older when that happened. I feel like a lot of these memories would be a lot better.
It wasn't an NBA game winner, though. It's actually a pretty historic game winner. But
which one?
I guess I have to say it now.
Yeah, you have to.
It was the Chris Jenkins Villanova buzzer beater.
Oh no, that's like really historic. That's like really historic.
like
one of the greatest buzzer beaters of all time.
That was I was at that one. But enough bragging about me. Again, back to you, Ross. This is yours. It's not about me. You need to check me on that too. Like,
okay, I got you.
In my direction, like, say Jeremy is about me, and like,
it's about me. It's all about me. I always tell people it's all about me. It is. I can finally do it.
But anyway, so yeah, so like, but when was the moment that you were you realized Dwyane Wade was your favorite athlete?
I mean, just growing up as a Heat fan, it kind of just came like I didn't have to think like, oh, who's my favorite player on the team? Like, I'm a Heat fan. He is by far the best player. I love this man. I remember the first championship we got against the Mavs. I fell asleep during Game 6. I must have been 6 or 7 years old. And I thought we lost. I was like, I'm a child. I'm going to bed. And I woke up and we won. I was like, no way. So like that was my first like, all right. So I love this sport. Like I love this sport. Because maybe I might have only became a basketball fan strictly because what was my other options? Yeah. As a Miami youth, because the Marlins were good in what year? I'm really bad at baseball. When I was really young, whatever. When I was 3 or 4 years old, and obviously the Dolphins. We don't. I don't want to talk about the Dolphins.
Dolphins haven't won playoffs in over 10 years.
Yeah. They have not won a playoff game since I was 6 months old. And I know that for a fact. So I was like, well, what do I got? I got the Heat, which I am so like I experience a level of success in my favorite sport with my favorite team that most people will never get. I got LeBron James.
Yeah, describe
the big 3.
Yeah, describe the reaction when LeBron came to Miami.
Oh, I got all the posters. I got every single poster. I had what was it? I think it said "We will win," or we did that. It was like a 3-word. I had that above my bed. I had a LeBron James poster. I had a couple Dwyane Wade ones. I used to get Slam magazine and cut out photos and just like really poorly, thumbtack them to my wall, which destroyed my room. And then if you want to talk about heartbreak, when LeBron left, I was not okay. I ripped every poster off my wall. That was not
Oh
Dwyane Wade. I
no.
kept Dwyane Wade. Like, it's not Dwayne's fault. I took every LeBron poster, all my LeBron shirts, and threw them away
Wow.
within 30 seconds.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm not happy.
He hurt you.
Oh, he hurt me. But like now that I'm older, I'm like, I could see why he did it. I see everything that he did. It made so much sense. And I respect LeBron to the highest degree. But as a kid, I was not okay.
Yeah. You and I, now in our early 20s, we see that. Like, I kind of wish we could see the game like we did when we were in middle school.
No business. Nothing.
Because when we were in middle school, like, I think it echoes some of the same sentiments that I had. But basketball was the thing in middle school.
Yeah.
Like, you either were cool because you knew basketball or you weren't cool because you didn't.
And, like, that's just the best, like, at least for I feel like every friend group picks a sport they play, and it's just simplest to play basketball. Football is a little more difficult because it's not the same when it's not tackle, honestly. And, like, my friend group was just like, we're not going to just play tackle. We're in the only field we have is, like, an abandoned lot that had glass on places next to my friend's house. So, like, we just played basketball. Like, that, we didn't even think about it. My friend got his hoop. It was right outside of it was on a really, in hindsight, the most dangerous place because there was nothing, like once the hoop ended, there was nothing but rocks. Like if you went for a fast break, you're going into rocks and you just have to make sure you don't fall. I cannot believe no one ever broke anything. But like, that's just what we did. Every Saturday I'd go to Temple with my friend. Mm-hmm. I'd walk there, walk back. My friend was super religious, but I wasn't. So I'd make the calls. I'd be like, everybody come to Simon's house. We're going to play. If you're not here, don't ever talk to me again. And we did that for basically all the way until like 10th grade, and then we found a park that was like half a block away, and like we're just all go to the park. And this is just what you did. It's like it's the club. It was the club before the club. It's where you need it to be.
Yeah, and there's something very special about that. Like, and that's the thing about basketball. You can play 1-on-1. You can play 2-on-2.
Horse, 21, hustle.
There's so many. You can play it with any group of people. You could shoot by yourself. I mean, granted, you don't necessarily want to, but I mean, you can't.
Sometimes you do. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you're just like, I don't want anyone to take this court. I want to get these shots up.
Exactly. So there's something special about that, and I think that it's shaped a lot of your life. Whether you
100%. Some of the best memories I ever had, or definitely funniest, were at the court that we either at my friend's house or the park that we used to go to, OG's Park.
All right, so share one of those memories.
Ooh, I'm trying to think of ones that I could definitely say on, because a lot of them are not. I guess they're not funny, but they are funny. Well, I remember very specifically my friend's house was. We just had one friend who, he was just the streakiest shooter of all time. Like he would have weeks where he wouldn't make one shot, but then one day it clicked. And I just remember one of those days it clicked, and it was hilarious because we just put people on him, and it was nothing but net every time at my friend's house. We put like our best, like within the friend group, you know which one's the best player. It's like, all right, we really need him, and like it just nothing would stop him. And I was like, oh, this is craziness. And like I didn't know how to shoot a basketball till like 9, 10. Like for as much as I talk about basketball, I am like, you could ask my we had our in the field league. Like I could do some things, but like I'm never the star of the team. I know my role, but like I just had such small hands as a kid. I didn't know how to shoot a basketball. Like I can't. I'm like the opposite of Shaq. Like his hands were too big, my hands are too small. Like it took me till like 9th, 10th grade. I'm like, oh, I could actually like figure out how to do this. And like all I would do is, because my friend had like a breakaway backboard. You know what I mean? Where like doesn't matter how hard you throw it against the backboard, the ball is gonna go in. Right. And it doesn't matter where I was in the court, I just hurled it at the back of that backboard. And like those are some of the best memories where I was like, Ross, how you doing this? I'm like, I don't know. Boom, against the backboard, in. And like some in very intense games. A lot of those games felt how the end of this All-Star game felt. That's how every game felt. You play to a certain score, it's fun for the first until you get to, if you're playing a 16, once you get to 12, it's like, all right, this is no longer fun. Mm-hmm. This is the NBA. I'm calling my own fouls, and oh my God, I'm sure you can feel this. There's always the one friend that calls fouls on anything, and that's just the worst. That's just the worst person. If you are listening to this and you are the friend that when you're playing street basketball, if they blow in your ear a little bit too hard, you call foul. You are not a friend of mine. Because there's always that one person. It's like, that's a foul. Like, dude, we are playing at a park. Like, relax. But yeah, just so many great memories at that park. A lot of them I definitely cannot share, but just a lot of great memories.
Mm-hmm. So let's. I want to move on. So
yeah,
you get to high school. How was high school for you?
High school was definitely a big just a big transition because like the middle school I went to was not, especially the 8th grade. They separated the 8th graders from the rest of the school. We had our own annex, is what they call it. It's the annex. So it was just literally isolated, and like I don't know, it was just small. I knew every single person's name. I knew every single person's name in the 8th grade. Whether or not I was friends with them was irrelevant. I knew every single person's name. Once I got to 9th grade, I went to a massive high school, and I did not like. These were grown men, like that. Like I would walk. Like I'm not a tall kid now, but freshman year, I couldn't have been more than 5'2".
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I just walk around like, yo, what is happening? Like, it was such a shock. The only
it was shock to your system.
Only thing that saved me, my sister was a senior when I was a freshman, which was dope sometimes, really inconvenient others. Because, oh my God.
Because people who knew who you were.
People kind of knew who I was, and we did, I think it was called HIP. I don't know, I don't know if you ever did HIP, but they come talk to you about, like, sexual awareness, health, and all that. But, like, it'd be juniors and seniors that did it. Mm. And, dude, I just would never forget my sister's friend. He's like, I'm coming to your class today. Be ready. I was like, oh, my God. No, please. I was like, please, no. So for every example, he just would replace whatever name of the example was with Ross. Like, it'd be like, Ross overdosed on. I was like, oh, my. I was crying in the back, like, crying, laughing. I was like, please. And, like, obviously, like, it was dope that they were my ride home. So I'd get in the seniors car and be like, bye, losers. I'm out of here. I'd take the bus. But, like, you could ask my sister, the first day of school, freshman year, they wanted to do a senior, like, breakfast. Like, not like a real, like, not like the formal one, but, like, their own. So they just got their friend with the big, like, trunk. They put, like, waffles, pancakes, whatever, orange juice. I don't know if there was liquor. I don't remember. But whatever. And school starts at 7:20. It is 6:50. We're there. We've already been sitting there for 20 minutes. I'm like, Jenna, I need to go to class right now. And she's like, dude, class doesn't start for 30 minutes. I was like, Jenna, I'm not going to be late on my first day of school ever. You need to take me to class right now. You need to walk me there. And she's like, oh, this kid is tripping. And she made me late every day. I was, because my sister, like, she didn't care because she's a senior. She's like, I get there at 7:20. I'll show up at 8. I'll show up at 7:50. I know this, like, I don't care about getting a late pass. I'm like, Jenna, I can't be late. I don't think you understand. My first period teacher.
Did you fail your first period freshman year?
Did I fail? No.
What was your first class freshman year?
Miss Michon, geography. I took it with one of
geography. That's not the class miss.
No, and I took it with my closest friend, and that's like the equivalent of the hardest class you could take in freshman. Because I didn't take AP World, so I'm like, this lady is not with any of this. Like, this is high school. This is not a game anymore. But yeah, those high school memories. I remember at one point jokingly, like, my sister's friend picked me up and like, there was no one around. He just put me in the trash. I was like, God damn it, get me out of here. And it was some good times. I don't remember what the original question was. I know I went on a huge tangent. You asked me something about high school.
That's all.
Oh yeah.
You didn't veer off question too.
But like another thing that like it was different in my high school was like my middle school was basically all white kids. Mm-hmm. Like Mark's here right now. Actually, he's doing homework. He was the one of the 4 black kids I think in my whole school.
Yeah.
In middle school, Mark's doing some work. His Wi-Fi is not working. Mm-hmm. But like when I got to high school, my high school was super diverse. I think it was like 50% black, 30% like Hispanic, and then Jewish. The rest was Jewish.
Yeah.
And it was I was like, this is not that it was weird. I'm like, this is just very different. This is not that I had anything wrong with it. I was like, this is not the same. And even in my closest friends, like for my theater class, I was the only white boy throughout all 4 years. I took magnet. I was a magnet theater student. So I took theater for 4 years, 2 classes a year, every single year.
Really?
Throughout all 4 years, I was the only white boy.
Did not know that.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know why, because the thing is, I took it freshman year because I wanted to do it. I loved theater in middle school. I did the plays. After freshman year, I was kind of like, I don't want to do this. I kind of want to it's going to be harder. I have to take more classes online, which no one wants to do.
Yeah.
But like, I wasn't zoned for my school. So I didn't really have a choice because the school I was zoned for is like a D school.
Neither was I. Yeah, I was. There was a similar program that I was in that I wasn't technically zoned to my school, even though I was technically. I lived in the zoning area for my first 2 years, but
Yeah.
again,
Oh
not
yeah.
about, but
It
about you.
was so
But,
close. It was
okay,
so like, yeah, it was an
I did
interesting
not know
experience
you
in
were
my
a
high
theater
school.
kid. That's
Yeah. I
I'm,
feel like
that surprises me. Breaking
yeah,
stereotypes, man. Good for you.
of course, I was the dude. I love our theater program was. If I had to be honest, our theater program was just we were really poorly funded, but like the best friends. Like I know it, having a class with someone for 4 years, like you're not gonna get closer than that with someone with a lot of this.
Favorite role you ever had in high school?
Okay, well, I'm like I said, poorly funded. We only had one major play, so that was we had a winter show every year, which I did something. I don't remember what I did, but we did like a pantomime every year. But
Mm-hmm.
my senior year, we actually were just able to get a show off. I played the nerd. I Jeremy, like, can I tell you something? I never wanted to play the nerd. It just I don't know how it happened. I didn't even have glasses back then, but
Well,
they
what
made
was the play?
the play was like it was. Oh my god! I wish I could call my friend. It was like drawbacks of a high school sweetheart. So basically, what we had, it was basically. Got it. It was a game show. It was a game show that they did that was basically like it was like a matchmaking thing. So like they just like we had two characters that were like the host of this. They were like trying to find love, and like I went on like a couple dates with like, and like I was just nerdy, awkward, like Ross, like try to sweat. I was like, Jesus, all right, this is hard, and like that was just fun. Granted, I think in the audience we had 6 people, one of them being my mom, and my mom has one of those laughs. You know what I mean? Like there's
I
no like
have
there's
one of those
you
laughs.
know that's my mom. Like I heard it, and obviously there's 6 people in the audience. I didn't even get to say a line. I walk out on stage with like my pants like waist high, a button down shirt, and glasses with my hair slicked all the way back. And I don't have the greatest hairline, so it's looking rough. I'm not looking the sexiest. Like, and I step out, take 2 steps on stage, all you hear is ha! I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, oh my god. I'm trying not to laugh. I'm trying to say these lines, dude. That was so much fun. The rehearsals for that were the greatest times because like the rehearsals are always the funnest part of the show. Yeah. Honestly, like oh my god, we would. Oh, that class was so great. I love doing theater 4 years because honestly, like, and all jokes aside, like when you take like classes in high school, you don't your creativity is not important, right? And like you know me, you see me around set. I need to be actively moving. I'm not stagnant. I like to move. I like to talk to people. I like to do that kind of stuff. So like sitting in a class for 6 hours a day sucks. I cannot do it. It drives me crazy. So knowing I had 4 hours of class to where my last 2 periods, like obviously we got work done, but I don't sit the whole class. I stood the whole class and like walked around and like got work done. Like I needed that. Like it would have drove me crazy to be in high school without my theater program. Like I would have been like, I don't want to talk to anyone. Like I don't want to talk to any of these people. It was so funny when I had someone in my theater class in one of my non-theater classes, like you don't say anything. I'm like, I don't want to. Like I don't want to like say anything in this quiet class. It feels awkward to me. Cause like in my theater class, I'm like how I am at hitting the field. Like I love myself. I love me, but like I talk a lot. And I know this. Like I need to be talking to people. So like why don't you talk in your other classes? I'm like, I just don't want to. I have no desire. I have no desire to say anything.
Yeah.
So it was a great experience. And like I'm super happy I didn't leave. Because like some of my closest friends were in that theater class.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so but you never wanted to do theater past high school.
No, I was like, I hate learning lines. It drives me crazy. I hate learning. I love acting. I love improv. I think maybe that, but when I had to sit down and be like, I have to remember this, I was like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. Can you just send me up there and give me like an outline and like I could fill in the blanks? But learning lines, I was like, never doing this. Nope. Can't do it. I don't love it enough. Like like people that love theater, like they love learning lines, dissecting the characters. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need to do that.
You just want to like
send me out there. Let me be
you're
funny.
an entertainer.
I got it.
That's what you got.
Yeah, I'm here to entertain. Yeah, exactly.
Go. Yeah. So so now why UCF? Why did you go to UCF? Why did you choose?
Very simply, Jeremy Taché.
Shout out the GOAT.
Shout out to the
Best
GOAT.
Jeremy to ever be on Hitting the Field.
I won't say that, but I love you, Jeremy. Happy birthday, Jeremy.
No, you
His
can't.
birthday was yesterday.
Wait, hold up. So you and Jeremy have the same birthday then?
He's a day after me. I was Wednesday. He was Thursday.
You were Wednesday. Okay. So happy birthday, Jeremy. Happy birthday,
yes.
Ross. two kings, Geminis
Yes.
of hitting the field.
Best Geminis.
Yes.
But yeah, so UCF. So I always, since a kid, wanted to be a Gator because I loved Tim Tebow, and my cousin went to UF when I was super young.
Yes.
So I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna, and like I don't know, like you don't know as a kid that you don't just get in. You have to actually really have good grades. So I was like, oh, I'll just go to high school, do what I do, and I'll get into UF. Once I finished high school, my GPA was good. I didn't get into UCF. I got deferred only because I never did my foreign languages, which I ended up doing the summer after my graduation, and they counted towards my GPA and everything, but they were after application. So I was like, I can't go to UCF. I would have went to UCF and lived with two of my sister's friends. I was like, I'm gonna go to FIU. No problem, I'm gonna go to FIU. And my drama teacher was the only person. She's like, Ross, like I know you. I've known you for 4 years. You need to go. You need to leave home. You're gonna get comfortable, and you're never gonna leave home.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me that straight up. She's like, you need to explore, and you need to be independent. And I basically was like, okay, whatever. And then one of my friends was like, yo, we're looking for a roommate to move to Gainesville. And I was like, okay. And then one of my roommates, he ended up not going, but one of my roommates did, and I spent a year in Gainesville. Mm-hmm. And I learned in that 1 year of Gainesville, I don't like Gainesville.
Yeah.
And I was just like, after 1 year, I was like, my other roommate, he's like, I'm not staying here another year. I'm going to go back to Dade because my parents could help me with my classes. And he's like, I'm not doing well up here. I need their help right now. I'll come back to UF, which he is.
But you didn't go to school right away.
What do you mean? I didn't go to school
after high school.
You know, I went right to my first fall. I didn't take a year off. So I went straight to Santa Fe.
You went to Santa Fe, okay.
Yes, I went to Santa Fe. So I spent a year there, and my roommate's like, I'm going back to Miami. I don't know what you're doing next year, but I'm not staying in Gainesville. And I was like, I am sure as hell not staying in Gainesville. Mm-hmm. I was like, the only way I stay in Gainesville is if I go to UF. And I was like, I don't even think I want to, like, I don't want to join a frat. Don't want to, not that I don't want to join a frat. I was like, I don't want to pay for a frat. No. And that's something, the rushing process is just a very, like, it takes a lot of your time. Like, I was like, that's something you do freshman year when you don't have to, I'm not worried. I'm like, now my classes are only going to get harder. Like, I was like, I don't have time for this. Like, I need to get A's. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, well, let me, like, and my dad's like, talk to Jeremy. Because, like, I'm like, all right. So I talked to Jeremy. Jeremy talked to me about the minor, which I'm in. Mm-hmm. And here, honestly, you know what I did not know, which is hilarious, because Jeremy's like, I don't know why you ever would have thought that. I thought hitting the field was part of the minor. Because the way he talked about it is like he kind of connected them. He's like, I did this and I did the minor. I was like, oh, so they're connected.
The minor is very connected to hitting the field.
Yes, of course, 100%. But I thought you literally needed to be a certain amount of classes in the minor in order to do hitting the field. Mm-hmm. Which that's why I didn't do it my first semester of UCF. I didn't do hitting the field only because I didn't know. I would have done it immediately.
But you joined hitting the field as a mistake.
Yeah, because I literally was like, I can't join hitting the field. And then Jeremy's like, what are you talking about? Go in spring. And then I think he either gave me Kyle's or Ant's email. And he's like, yeah, come to the meeting. And then I came to the meeting and then bada boom. He just talked about UCF in such a great way. No one loves UCF more than Jeremy Tache.
That is true.
Maybe his brother Jason, who I'm living with next year, but they love.
You're living with Jason next year.
Yeah, living with Jason.
Perfect.
Next year. Jason, and Mark.
Oh, continue the Tache legacy.
I'm going to force him into hitting the field. I tell him every day. He's like, I don't know if I have time. I'm like, you'll get there. Don't worry about it.
We'll make time.
But Jeremy just talked it up in a way, and he's like, it's the great community, clean school. You're gonna have the best time of your life. You're gonna love hitting the field. You're gonna love the mine. It's exactly what you want to do. Why not? And I was like, all right, well, it kind of sounds good to me. I applied. A 1 year transfer is not typical, but I was like, I got straight A's in community college. I'm like, I might as well try. What's anything I could do to say no? And then I spend a year back home, and then thank God, because I think honestly, if I spent a year back home, I would not come back. You know what I mean? You just get comfortable. You're just like, I'm home. I don't got to pay for rent. My mom cooks for me. I don't have to clean my room every day. Like I don't have to deal with this. But I got into UCF obviously, and best decision ever made. Best decision easily ever made.
Well, that's awesome, man. But 2 more questions before we sign off here. We're running a little bit close on time, but where do you see Ross Bernstein in 2030? 10 years from now, where do you see Ross?
10 years. Well, hopefully with a good job. I don't know how specific I can get because I don't know. I mean, if we're like in our 20s, I'm starting to learn what I really, really want to do. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it has anything to do with what I'm doing, but I know what I love to do. And my cousin always tells me, he's like, whatever you're doing now could always be changed, but you're always going to get back to what you love. So hopefully 10 years, I have a good career, stable career. I mean, I don't want to be like just cheesy, but like have someone, like be with someone. Like I don't want to. I like being married to my career has never been a thing. Yeah,
Wrong with that.
yeah. It'd be like being married to my career has never been a thing. Like people like you got to marry to your career, you got to commit time to it. I'm like, yeah, but like your life will get away from you. Yeah. It's gonna be hard to find someone when you're really older. It just really is because like the field only gets smaller. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like that and it's all you really hope for. Good career and be with someone. I don't know about 30 with kids is a little. I'm still too young to even think about it. Mm-hmm. Like that's really like I can't even imagine having to take care of another human being. It scares the life out of me.
Oh yeah.
I would have no clue how to do that.
Someone who's worked with kids, absolutely.
Yeah, no. I'm not good with kids. Like I don't know what to say to them. Like when they're really young. Like when they're older, I'm like, all right, I can. But like when they're like 3, I don't know how to get through to them. Like I don't like.
Yeah.
They confuse me.
It's a struggle. But the last question I usually ask everyone is, I want you to pick someone, give them a shout out, just someone that's inspired you and helped you become the person you are today. One person from your given family, the family that you are given at birth, and then one from your chosen family, some friends that you would consider family along the lines that have brought you to who you are today as now a 21-year-old man.
I mean, I think my dad is obviously, I feel like a lot of at least men's role model. He's my role model. Like, I love that. My dad is he's a kid at heart. He's a lot more fun than me. Like my dad, like he came to visit me in college and I'm like, he should be here. He should be here. And I'm not like the going out fun person. My dad had the best time at a tailgate. So obviously, like I look up to my dad. No one works harder than my dad. I do believe that. I think everything he does is selfless. It's only to help people. He's the nicest person, and like everything he does is just like there's never an ill intent behind anything he does. He loves everyone, and he works just so hard. And like that's the reason I like I feel like for a lot of kids that's a lot of the reason they want to do successful. Like I want to help my parents. Like I want my dad to not worry about something. Like if I want to get a good enough job, I'm like, Dad, you don't got to do anything. You can do whatever you want. Like you don't have to do what you need to do because you've been doing that to take care of me and like our family forever. Like you don't have to do that anymore. Do whatever you want, which I don't know what that is, but whatever. And then you said a chosen family. You said
your chosen family, the people that are not in your given family, but
this is so hard.
Yeah.
Can I just pick like my close circle? I have when I mean my close circles, I have 6 friends, and they know who they are. They're the closest circle. We talk about everything. We play video games every night for the past 3 months.
And y'all 6 know it's y'all 6, right?
We definitely know the 6 in the group chat. My friend Martin, I don't know why he just never got in the group chat. Because he met us like 2 years after we all became close friends. No. They know. The Warzone boys. They know. No. 100%. They know who they are. I've known them since the latest one I met was probably Martin and Jason. Like my closest friends. I met them freshman year of high school. The rest of them I've known my best friend Simon since elementary school. We've known each other since we were 3. Always been friends. I probably talk to him once a week somehow. I mean, we talk every night because we play Warzone, which is all we do. But like that, no matter what happens in my life, I know I will have them.
Like those are going to be the best men at your wedding.
100%. And Mark's here. He's not looking at me. He's outside. I love you, Mark. I don't think he can hear me. Yeah, and like obviously my friend.
Tell Mark to come in.
Honestly, Mark to come in. All right, Mark. Let me see. He might. Let me get Mark. Mark, you're requested on the podcast.
Mark,
you're requested on the podcast. Can you hear him? Okay, never mind. Just say hi to the people.
All right. Well, shout out Mark, and I'm sure he'll listen to the rest of this as well. And thank you, Ross, for coming on to the show today. This was definitely a lot of fun. I'm sure that we could make a part 2 if we really wanted to.
Oh, I could always, you know me. I could talk for days. I'm not too worried about that.
Part 2, part 3, hitting the Ross. That's what the new.
Listen, man, more time I could do hitting the field and to contribute more. I'm always there.
Absolutely.
I'm always here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the show today. We took a small mini break for the hitting the field, hitting the crew because we were, it was Memorial Day, and then I drove back to Florida. That took me. It only took me 1 full day, but to recover, it took me like 4 or 5. That is no joke.
It's a daunting trip.
So we took a bit of a hiatus, but we are back now with the NBA returning. We have our podcast with our instant reactions on our YouTube channel and on our wherever you listen to podcasts. So subscribe to us, download our podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I'm pretty sure we're up there somewhere. Just or you could also subscribe to our YouTube page and catch all the episodes of all of our podcasts. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Hitting the Crew. With Ross Bernstein, I'm Jeremy Brener, and we'll catch you on the flip side.